Okay, and now we're getting in news about Shahabuddin. What we're hearing is that he has surrendered after the Supreme Court cancelled his bail and set aside the Patna High Court order. The Supreme Court has in fact instructed the Bihar government to put Shahabuddin, the criminal turned politician, back into jail after it cancelled his bail application. So that's the news that we're getting in right now. The Supreme Court, in fact, had earlier on cancelled the bail of the controversial RJD leader, directing him to surrender and asking the Bihar government to take necessary steps to take him into custody immediately. So what we are hearing is that Shahabuddin has already surrendered.
Today the Supreme Court allowed the two appeals, one by Chanda Babu, the father of the 3 boys who were killed by Shahabuddin and his men, as well as the appeal filed by the state of Bihar against the bail granted to Shahabuddin in Rajiv Roshan's murder case by the Bihar High Court. The Supreme Court has directed that Shahabuddin be immediately taken into custody and back to jail, and have further directed the state of Bihar to ensure that the trial against him is proceeded with.
Hey, Rohit Singh of India Today joins us for more on this. Rohit, we just heard Shahabuddin surrendering and saying that he is only abiding the court's orders. But very interestingly, he issues a threat towards the end of that answer, saying that his supporters will, will make everybody know what's going to happen in the upcoming elections.
Well, absolutely. As I told you, 1 o'clock was when Shahabuddin's bail was cancelled, and the superintendent of police of Siwan with the entire force has reached his village, Pratappur, to take him into custody. But he was not there at his house, and what we are now learning is that he was present in Siwan town itself. And as soon as he saw that his bail has been cancelled, he reached the CGM court. He was he came on a bike, he was wearing a helmet, and he surrendered before the CGM court. And now that he has surrendered, he will be sent to Siwan jail first, what we are learning from sources. But obviously, his supporters are there in large numbers in Siwan. And that is why, last time also, when I spoke to Shahabuddin, he was telling that his supporters are very much angry at the kind of reactions that are coming from not many political leaders after he was released from jail. And so, what he is basically meaning to say is that obviously now that he's going back to jail, his supporters are upset, his supporters are disappointed, and maybe in the upcoming election that is going to take place in 2019, it is very much likely that he will again field his wife, Hina Shahab, in the general elections, and possibly he's thinking that she could win elections because of support from his supporters.
Absolutely. And now, we're talking about the tremendous pressure that the Bihar government was under to put him back in jail. But if you just see his body language, Rohit, there is no sign of any remorse, anger, hurt, pain. On the contrary, it's just the opposite. He's smiling, undeterred, unfazed, which perhaps just goes on to indicate, the allegation against the state government for its soft approach towards this criminal.
Well, absolutely. The approach that was the Bihar government was very black in this case, and I will see that for the last 3 years there were several cases in which Shahabuddin has got bail, but in none of the cases the Bihar government approached cancellation of the bail. And also on the 16th of September, I remember I was speaking to Shahabuddin, and when I asked him that, are you willing to go back to jail, because that was the day when his bail was challenged by both Chanda Babu and Bihar government in the Supreme Court. He was very much willing on that day. He said that I have come out of the jail because of the judiciary law. The judge has given me bail. If the judiciary again asks me to go back to jail, I have no problems in going back to jail. So that's the body language we are seeing today also. He has no remorse, and he says that he is willing to go back to jail, and himself he has come to surrender at the CGM court.
No, absolutely. Now, he's been languishing in jail, Rohit, for quite some time now. There are multiple criminal cases against him. What about the Bihar government? I mean, why hasn't there been any trial against him? Why didn't they not oppose his bail when it was given earlier on? And what do you think is expected to happen next? Rohit, can you hear me? Okay, we'll go back to Rohit in just a bit, but Shahabuddin there saying that he has finally surrendered and he is only obeying the court's orders. Okay, now post that military operation across the line of control in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir conducted by the Indian Army, the Home Minister has chaired a very important security review meeting at the Ministry of Home Affairs. And present in this meeting, we hear, was the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and the Union Minister Kiran Rijiju, along with the Union Home Secretary and other senior top officials of security and intelligence. The meeting was held with the agenda being of reviewing the security situation in the country, particularly the areas bordering the line of control. And during this hour-long meeting, the top security brass of the nation briefed the Home Minister about the possible combative measures to be undertaken at all the BSF posts. Coherent instructions have also been given to the heads of all the security forces to ensure that the safety of civilians who have been evacuated from the border areas remains the primary concern. BSF posts across the Indo-Pak border has already been put on high alert. Well, India indeed has been put on a high alert in the aftermath of the surgical strike, with another ceasefire violation by Pakistan in the last 48 hours. Armed forces have beefed up security across the line of control as villagers near the border had been evacuated, fearing a retaliation from Pakistan a day after the Indian forces successfully carried out a surgical strike in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, eliminating the terror launch pads. Border areas in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab and Rajasthan have already been cleared as the Border Security Force has declared a situation of high alert in all of these areas. The police forces across the national capital have also been put on an extremely high alert. Sources say India could witness a possible attack in the next 48 hours, following which all government buildings and important places in the national capital have been kept under strict surveillance.
These are inserted in action zones using various means.
In fact, our correspondent Shujaul Haq has also just sent us this report from the line of control. Let's just take a look at his report.
It has been a night full of tension for people living along the line of control, particularly in these areas of Uri. Constantly, since yesterday afternoon, we've been seeing people coming down from those places which are close to the line of control, thinking that if at all there is a retaliatory action, they will have to save themselves and also their livestock. Many people who could not move spend their night in an absolute sense of unease. On the ground also, we can see that there is movement of troops, the army continuously building up at various places. So clearly, while there is this apprehension that there could be some retaliatory action on the Pakistan side, preparations from both the civilian government and the army are at its full swing. With cameraman Tariq, Shujaul Haq in Uri for India Today.
Well, clearly the alert has been sounded on every border with Pakistan in the aftermath of the strike, and as the armed forces beef up security across the line of control, villages just near the de facto border have also been evacuated, fearing a retaliation from Pakistan. Border areas in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan have also been cleared. The public has also been stopped from attending the beating retreat ceremony at the Wagah border as a precautionary measure. Local authorities claim that adequate measures are in place to ensure minimal inconvenience to those who have been evacuated.
Just a precautionary measure ले रहे हैं ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਅਨਹੋਣੀ ਘਟਨਾ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ, ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ देयर इज नो पैनिक एट ऑल। कैंप लाए गए ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਖਾਣ ਦਾ ਪੀਣ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧ ਆ। ਸਰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦੇ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਸਕੂਲ ਆ, ਹਰੇਕ ਪਿੰਡ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ डिस्ट्रीब्यूट ਕੀਤਾ।
अगर युद्ध होता है तो हिंदुस्तान के तमाम लोग जितने ही हैं सब खुश है कि पाकिस्तान को जवाब दिया जाए। पाकिस्तान कई 30 सालों से लगभग हिंदुस्तान को परेशान कर रहा है आतंकवादी भेज करके। वो आतंकवादी जब तक ख़त्म नहीं होंगे या भाई पाकिस्तान की पॉलिसी वो ख़त्म नहीं होगी तब तक हम परेशान रहेंगे। इसलिए सारा बॉर्डर नहीं बल्कि पूरा हिंदुस्तान की जनता ये चाहती है कि पाकिस्तान को सबक सिखाया जाए। देखो युद्ध अच्छी बात नहीं है, लेकिन कोई लास्ट विकल्प है और कोई रास्ता नहीं है जब युद्ध हो रहा है। और अगर युद्ध हो है तो पूरी जनता हिंदुस्तान के फेवर में है। छोटा मोटा जितना भी था सब अपनी ताकत लगाएंगे।
सानू ये हुक्म दिता गया है भी इतों जल्दी तो जल्दी 5 बजे तक बच्चे और बीबियां पीछे चले जाओ।